Imagine a nation where over 30,000 ordinary citizens armed with nothing more than brooms, wheelbarrows, and an unyielding spirit achieved something truly extraordinary. This wasn't a political uprising or a fundraising campaign, but a national revolution that transformed the very fabric of a country. This is the inspiring true story of Burkina Faso, one of Africa's most economically challenged nations, where the people united to clean their streets, schools, hospitals, and communities, and in doing so reshaped their nation's future. This is a tale of national pride, collective unity, and grassroots people-powered change sparked by a single powerful call to action from a visionary leader. Welcome to Heroic Fable, a platform dedicated to celebrating real people who become real heroes through acts of courage, determination, and unity. In September 2023, an unprecedented movement swept through Burkina Faso, a landlocked West African nation often overlooked in global headlines. Over 30,000 individuals from every corner of society, farmers tilling the fields, traders bustling in markets, teachers shaping young minds, students eager to learn, parents nurturing families, and even soldiers guarding the nation set aside their daily routines to unite for a singular transformative purpose: to clean and revitalize their country. This wasn't just about sweeping streets or clearing trash. It was about reclaiming dignity, fostering unity, and building a brighter future. The catalyst for this extraordinary movement was a bold and heartfelt call from Burkina Faso's young president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. His message was simple yet profound. Burkina Faso is ours. It is our collective duty to protect, nurture, and uplift it. These words resonated deeply, igniting a spark that spread like wildfire across the nation. The response was nothing short of historic as citizens from all walks of life answered the call with enthusiasm and purpose. This wasn't a government-mandated program enforced by law or a military operation driven by orders. It was a voluntary, people-driven revolution that captured the heart and soul of Burkina Faso. Communities across the nation mobilized with remarkable speed and coordination. In every city, town, and rural village, men, women, and children armed themselves with the simplest of tools: brooms, rakes, wheelbarrows, gloves, and garbage bags. Dusty, littered streets were swept clean. Bustling marketplaces were rejuvenated. Hospitals sparkled with newfound cleanliness. Schools gleamed with pride, and public spaces that had long been neglected were restored to their former glory. For 7 consecutive days, the rhythmic sound of sweeping brooms, the clatter of shovels, and the hum of collective effort replaced the usual noise of daily life. Communities that had long struggled with inadequate sanitation infrastructure witnessed immediate, tangible improvements. Trash heaps that had accumulated for years, clogging drainage systems and polluting water sources, were cleared away with determination. Alleys once choked with debris were transformed into clean, welcoming pathways. Public squares, markets, and community centers were revitalized, becoming spaces where people could gather with pride. But this initiative was far more than a physical cleanup. It was a profound transformation of hearts, minds, and national identity. The act of cleaning became a symbol of ownership, a declaration that Burkina Faso's future belonged to its people. Public health experts observed remarkable outcomes as a direct result of the cleanup. Hospitals across the country reported a significant decline in sanitation. Related illnesses such as diarrhea, cholera, and other waterborne diseases. Doctors and nurses celebrated improved working conditions, with clinics and medical facilities becoming safer and more hygienic environments for both staff and patients. In rural areas, many communities regained access to clean water sources that had been contaminated or neglected for years, a change that had an immediate impact on public health and quality of life. Village elders, some with decades of memories, stood in awe as they witnessed their towns and villages transformed. Many remarked that they had never seen their communities so clean or their people so united in a shared purpose. The sanitation revolution wasn't just about removing trash. It was about restoring hope, dignity, and a sense of collective responsibility. For the first time in decades, people saw what was possible when they worked together toward a common goal. Beyond the immediate health benefits, the sanitation revolution sparked a profound sense of national pride that reverberated across Burkina Faso. Citizens realized that waiting for external aid, foreign intervention, or government programs was unnecessary. True change, they discovered, had to come from within, from their own hands, hearts, and determination. And it did, with resounding impact that echoed far beyond the borders of their nation. One of the most inspiring aspects of this movement was its inclusivity and the diverse leadership that emerged on the ground. Women, often the backbone of their communities, took charge with remarkable strength, leading cleanup brigades in bustling marketplaces, residential neighborhoods, and public spaces. Their leadership was a powerful reminder of the vital role women play in driving change. Young people brimming with energy and idealism organized cleaning squads in schools, sports fields, and community centers, turning the effort into a vibrant youth movement that inspired their peers. Soldiers, typically seen in roles of defense, stepped out of their barracks, not to enforce but to collaborate, working shoulder to shoulder with civilians in a display of unity that transcended societal divides. Religious leaders, community elders, and local teachers amplified the call to action, lending their voices to encourage widespread participation. Imams, pastors, and traditional leaders spoke of the cleanup as a moral and spiritual duty, urging their communities to join the effort. Teachers incorporated the initiative into their lessons, inspiring students to take pride in their environment. The result was a national movement rooted in unity, inclusion, and collective effort where every citizen, regardless of age, gender, or status, had a role to play. Why was this movement so significant? Because it represented Burkina Faso's people claiming ownership of their nation in a way rarely seen in modern history. This wasn't about external aid, charity, or foreign intervention. It was about dignity, self-reliance, and proving that progress doesn't require vast wealth or resources. It requires willpower, leadership, and a shared vision for a better future. The sanitation revolution showed the world that even a nation facing economic hardship could achieve greatness through the collective strength of its people. As the cleanup week gained momentum, its impact began to ripple beyond Burkina Faso's borders. Visitors from neighboring countries including Ghana, Mali, and Niger traveled to witness the transformation firsthand, marveling at the scale and spirit of the movement. International development organizations and public health officials observed with awe, with some describing Burkina Faso's Sanitation Week as a potential blueprint for other African nations grappling with urban waste, poor sanitation infrastructure, and public health challenges. The initiative's low-cost, high-impact approach captured global attention, earning praise as a model for sustainable community-driven change. The movement's success was so profound that President Captain Ibrahim Traoré announced a bold and visionary step to ensure its longevity. The sanitation revolution would not end after one remarkable week. Instead, Burkina Faso would establish a monthly National Cleanup Day, a recurring event where communities across the country would gather to sustain the progress they had achieved. This decision transformed the revolution from a fleeting moment of enthusiasm into a foundation for lasting systemic change, ensuring that the spirit of unity and collective responsibility would endure. For millions of Burkinabe, this national project became deeply personal, weaving itself into the fabric of daily life. School children, inspired by their participation, wrote heartfelt essays about their experiences cleaning their communities, expressing newfound pride in their surroundings. Teachers shared stories of students who had never before cared about their environment but were now passionate advocates for cleanliness and community pride. Women who played a central role in the movement composed songs celebrating the volunteers' efforts, their voices echoing through markets, villages, and community gatherings. Cultural groups created dances to honor the newfound cleanliness and unity, turning the movement into a vibrant cultural celebration that resonated across generations. Religious leaders framed the cleanup as a sacred act, blessing the efforts as both civic and spiritual duties. In mosques, churches, and traditional ceremonies, they spoke of the movement as a reflection of faith, community, and stewardship of the land. These personal and cultural expressions of the sanitation revolution transformed it into something far greater than a cleaning campaign. It became a reawakening of Burkina Faso's spirit, a rediscovery of what it means to be a citizen of a nation striving for progress. At the heart of this movement was Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, which proved to be both inspirational and hands-on. His speeches, broadcast across radio and television, reached millions, stirring their hearts and minds. But his actions spoke even louder. He didn't remain a distant figure issuing directives from the capital city of Ouagadougou. Instead, he rolled up his sleeves and joined the cleanup efforts, working alongside farmers, traders, and students in the streets. This hands-on leadership galvanized the nation, showing that change starts at every level, from the president to the poorest citizen. His presence in the field inspired countless others to join, reinforcing the message that leadership is about action, not just words. The world took notice of Burkina Faso's remarkable achievement. Reports from neighboring countries like Ghana, Mali, and Niger praised the grassroots approach, with some African leaders privately admitting their own nations could learn from Burkina Faso's example. Development experts in Europe hailed the initiative as a textbook example of sustainable community-driven change, noting its ability to achieve significant results with minimal resources. United Nations observers highlighted it as a scalable, low-cost model for civic mobilization, suggesting that it could inspire similar movements in other parts of the world grappling with similar challenges. What does this story truly signify? It demonstrates that transformative change doesn't require vast sums of foreign aid, international organizations, or expensive consultants. It begins when people believe in their own power to make a difference. It starts when they recognize that no one else is coming to save them, and when they take action to create the future they envision. Burkina Faso's sanitation revolution is a testament to the power of collective action, showing that even the simplest tools, a broom, a rake, a wheelbarrow, can become instruments of profound change when wielded by a united people. In his closing speech at the end of the Sanitation Week, Captain Ibrahim Traoré captured the essence of this movement with words that resonated deeply. We may not have all the riches of the world, but we have hands to work, hearts to care, and hope to dream. That is more than enough to transform our nation. These words became a rallying cry, a reminder that Burkina Faso's strength lies not in its wealth, but in the resilience, determination, and spirit of its people. At Heroic Fable, we believe stories like this deserve to be shared with the world. Heroes aren't always found in blockbuster films, comic books, or ancient history texts. Sometimes they are the farmers, mothers, teachers, students, and children who pick up a broom and change the course of their country's future. They are the ordinary people who, through small deliberate actions, create extraordinary impact. What lessons can we draw from Burkina Faso's sanitation revolution? It teaches us that leadership is vital, but the true power lies with the people. Ordinary individuals performing simple, everyday actions can create lasting, transformative change. A nation's strength isn't measured by its wealth, its resources, or its global influence, but by the resilience, determination, and unity of its citizens. This story is a reminder that change is possible even in the face of adversity, when people come together with a shared purpose. This story isn't just about Burkina Faso. It's a universal call to action for people everywhere. Wherever you are, change begins with you in your street, your school, your community, or your home. You don't need permission, vast resources, or a grand plan. You need only the belief that your small action matters, because it does. If the people of Burkina Faso can unite to transform their nation with their bare hands, what small step can you take today to improve your own community? Because real heroes don't wear capes or wield superpowers. They carry brooms, wheelbarrows, and an unshakable belief in a better future. They are the everyday people who dare to act, who refuse to wait for change, and who build it themselves one step at a time. If this story has inspired you, please like this video, share it with your friends, family, and community, and subscribe to Heroic Fable, where every act of courage becomes a story worth telling. Together, let's celebrate the unsung heroes of Burkina Faso and remind the world that true power lies in the hands of the people. Let's honor their legacy by taking action in our own lives, in our own communities, and in our own way. Thank you for watching, and always remember, change starts with